Why do intelligent people, those with sharp analytical thinking and deep insight, often find themselves paralyzed when it comes to taking action? This seems paradoxical. Intelligence should be an advantage, a tool that helps individuals navigate life more effectively. Yet, reality is filled with brilliant minds hesitating, overanalyzing, or getting trapped in their own thoughts, while others, perhaps less talented, move forward and achieve more. This is not just an isolated phenomenon, but a recurring pattern, from the time of Socrates to modern psychology. Intelligence, no matter how powerful, comes with invisible burdens that make decision-making, risk-taking, and action more difficult than necessary. The problem lies in the very nature of intelligence. It is a double-edged sword. Smart people can see multiple angles of a situation, anticipate potential problems, and analyze ideas with ease. But this very ability makes them prone to cognitive traps, overthinking, self-doubt, and an obsession with perfect solutions. While others act instinctively or reason in simpler terms, intelligent individuals often hesitate, caught in an endless loop of what-if questions. This is not merely a matter of personality, but a cognitive pattern that many thinkers have recognized throughout history. Socrates warned about the dangers of excessive self-questioning, while modern psychologists have observed links between intelligence and anxiety, perfectionism, and even procrastination. In reality, the greatest barrier for intelligent people is not the outside world, but their own minds. Their analytical skills become obstacles to action. Their awareness of complexity makes them skeptical of simple steps, and their fear of failure often outweighs their willingness to experiment. 1. The fear of failure and the burden of too many talents. Intelligence is often seen as a gift, an advantage that allows individuals to navigate life with greater ease. However, for many highly intelligent people, their intellect becomes a source of hesitation rather than confidence. One of the greatest struggles they face is not just the fear of failure, but the fear of failing to meet their own impossibly high expectations. They are often their own harshest critics, setting standards so demanding that even minor mistakes feel catastrophic. To them, failure isn't just a setback, it's a reflection of their self-worth, a sign that they are not as capable as they once believed. And so, rather than risking imperfection, they delay action, choosing instead to prepare, analyze, and refine their plans endlessly. But beyond the fear of failure lies an even deeper problem: the burden of too many possibilities. Many intelligent individuals possess a wide range of talents and interests, making it difficult to commit to a single path. While others might naturally gravitate toward a clear career or passion, highly intelligent people see too many potential futures. This abundance of choice, rather than feeling liberating, becomes overwhelming. The paralysis of infinite potential. Take, for example, a gifted young professional who excels in multiple areas. Perhaps they are skilled in writing, business strategy, and scientific research. They are passionate about all three, and mentors from each field encourage them to pursue their respective paths. However, rather than feeling empowered, they feel stuck. If they commit to writing, are they wasting their analytical mind? If they start a business, will they regret not contributing to scientific progress? If they pursue research, will they miss the chance to build a company? Every decision feels like a permanent trade-off, and the fear of choosing wrong keeps them from making any choice at all. As a result, they remain in a perpetual state of preparation, reading more books, taking more courses, seeking more advice, always waiting for a moment of absolute certainty that never arrives. Meanwhile, their peers, who may be less talented but more decisive, advance in their careers, gaining experience and momentum while the intelligent individual remains stuck in indecision. This extends beyond career choices. Even in everyday life, they hesitate whether it's committing to a relationship, moving to a new city, or starting a personal project. The fear of making the wrong choice keeps them trapped in a cycle of overthinking and second-guessing. Breaking free, the power of imperfect action. To escape this paralysis, intelligent individuals must shift their mindset from optimization to action. Accept that no decision is perfect. There will always be an alternative path that remains unexplored, but progress comes from movement, not endless deliberation. View action as a learning process. Instead of waiting for certainty, embrace trial and error as part of growth. Even mistakes provide valuable insights. Redefine failure. Rather than seeing failure as proof of inadequacy, see it as evidence of effort and experience gained. Many of the most successful individuals failed multiple times before achieving greatness. Commit and adapt. Instead of searching for the best option, focus on making a choice and adjusting along the way. Momentum builds through action, not contemplation. At its core, intelligence should be a tool for bold, decisive living, not a barrier that keeps people stuck in their own thoughts. Thinking helps us understand the world, but only action allows us to shape it. By embracing imperfection and making peace with uncertainty, intelligent individuals can break free from hesitation and finally step into the full potential they have always feared to claim. 2. The trap of knowledge. Addicted to thinking, paralyzed from acting. For many highly intelligent individuals, thinking itself becomes an addiction, an endless pursuit of ideas, analysis, and intellectual stimulation that replaces real-world action. Ideas excite the mind, offering an instant sense of satisfaction without requiring any actual risk. Reading, analyzing, and theorizing create the illusion of productivity, fostering a false sense of progress. But without action, even the most profound insights remain abstract, disconnected from reality. This explains why so many talented individuals find themselves stuck in an endless loop of consuming knowledge without ever applying it. They devour dozens of books on success, psychology, and philosophy, but never implement meaningful changes in their own lives. They meticulously study business strategies, but never take the first step to start a company. They understand the science of fitness and discipline, but struggle to commit to consistent exercise or maintain healthy habits. Take the example of an aspiring entrepreneur who spends years reading about market trends, studying successful companies, and drafting elaborate business plans. They consume endless case studies, attend seminars, and analyze financial models. But when it comes to launching their venture, they hesitate. Each new piece of information introduces fresh uncertainties, potential pitfalls they hadn't considered before, better strategies they now believe they should refine first. The result? They never take the plunge. Meanwhile, a less knowledgeable but action-oriented entrepreneur launches a startup, learns through experience, and adapts along the way, ultimately achieving success, while the thinker remains stuck in endless preparation. Or consider the intellectual who spends countless hours debating philosophical theories on happiness, purpose, and human nature. They can eloquently discuss the meaning of life, dissect different schools of thought, and critique flawed arguments. But despite all this wisdom, they feel unfulfilled. They haven't built meaningful relationships, taken personal risks, or engaged with life beyond an academic level. Their understanding of fulfillment remains theoretical, never tested, never lived. At its core, this phenomenon stems from the human brain's desire for efficiency and control. Thought is structured, predictable, and safe, whereas real-world action is chaotic, uncertain, and filled with obstacles. Intelligent people, attuned to risk and complexity, often prefer the comfort of their mental fortress over the unpredictable nature of action. They rationalize their inaction by convincing themselves they are preparing or gathering more knowledge when, in reality, they are avoiding the discomfort of doing so. The harsh truth is that no amount of thinking can replace action. Knowledge, no matter how vast, is meaningless unless applied. Theories must be tested, skills must be practiced, and ideas must be executed. The real world is messy, unpredictable, and often unforgiving, but it is the only place where true growth, success, and fulfillment occur. To escape the trap of intellectual paralysis, one must embrace action, not as a final step after endless preparation, but as an essential part of learning itself. 3. Perfectionism and procrastination, the endless cycle of inaction. Perfectionism is often mistaken for a positive trait, an admirable pursuit of excellence. But for many intelligent individuals, perfectionism is not a motivator. It is a prison. It leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and an ever-growing sense of frustration as they set impossibly high standards for themselves, standards so unattainable that they end up doing nothing at all. Instead of making progress, they wait indefinitely, choosing inaction over the risk of imperfection. This pattern manifests in countless ways in modern life. A talented writer spends years refining their manuscript, but never submits it for publication. Convinced that it's never ready, a gifted artist hesitates to share their work because it doesn't yet meet their ever-evolving, self-imposed standards. An aspiring entrepreneur constantly revises their business idea instead of launching it, paralyzed by the fear of failure or criticism. In everyday situations, even sending an email, starting a conversation, or making a simple decision becomes an insurmountable challenge. Take the case of an architect who dreams of designing a revolutionary building. They draft blueprints, research materials, and refine their vision down to the smallest detail. But each time they are near completion, they find a new flaw, a missing element that could be improved. Instead of submitting the proposal and refining it along the way, they restart from scratch, believing that perfection must come before action. Years pass, and the building remains nothing more than an idea. Meanwhile, another architect, less talented but more willing to take risks, submits their designs, gets feedback, and eventually sees their work come to life. Or consider a musician who composes beautiful melodies but never records them. Each song feels incomplete, lacking the perfect arrangement or the ideal production quality. They delay recording, convinced that they need better equipment, more experience, or just a little more time. The irony? In their pursuit of perfection, they create nothing tangible. While they wait, others release music, gain experience, and improve over time. The cruel paradox of perfectionism is that by trying to avoid imperfection, intelligent individuals often achieve nothing at all. Their refusal to settle for good enough means they never take the crucial first step. And without that first step, there is no learning, no growth, and no progress. Perfectionism, at its core, is rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of not living up to one's potential. The only way to break free from this cycle is to accept that no work, no idea, and no action will ever be perfect. Progress is built on iteration, on learning from mistakes, and on moving forward despite uncertainty. True excellence comes not from avoiding imperfection, but from embracing it as part of the journey. 4. Fear of failure and the burden of too many talents. For many highly intelligent individuals, failure is not just a possibility, it's a deeply personal fear, an existential threat. It's not merely about disappointing others, but about failing to meet their own impossibly high standards. They tend to be their own harshest critics, setting expectations so lofty that even the smallest misstep feels unacceptable. If they commit to one direction, they worry about missing out on something better. What if they could have been a great writer, but they chose science? What if they could have built a thriving business, but they settled for academia? The fear of closing doors, of making an irreversible choice, leads to endless hesitation. The paradox of infinite potential. Take the case of a brilliant student with an exceptional ability in mathematics, music, and entrepreneurship. Their professors encourage them to pursue academia, their friends admire their musical talent, and their mentors see a future business leader in them. But instead of feeling empowered by these choices, they feel trapped. Every path demands commitment, and every commitment feels like a sacrifice of the other possibilities. As a result, they delay making a decision, waiting for a moment of absolute clarity that never arrives. Years pass, and while they continue to explore options, reading, researching, discussing possibilities, they never fully dedicate themselves to any one path. Meanwhile, their peers, perhaps less talented but more decisive, advance in their careers, gaining experience, refining their skills, and achieving success. The intelligent individual remains stuck in a cycle of preparation, never quite stepping into action. This cycle also affects professionals who, despite having promising careers, constantly question whether they should switch industries, start a business, or pursue a different passion. Every new interest reignites the internal debate, leading to constant second-guessing and dissatisfaction. The irony is that their ability to excel in many areas becomes the very thing that prevents them from fully committing to any of them. Breaking the cycle, embracing imperfect action. The key to escaping this paralysis is acceptance that no decision is perfect. Every choice involves trade-offs, and there will always be alternative paths that remain unexplored. Success is built through action, not contemplation. The best choice is not necessarily the perfect one, but the one that is acted upon and refined over time. Failure is not a verdict, but a process. Every misstep provides valuable feedback, shaping future decisions. Avoiding failure altogether means avoiding growth. A highly intelligent mind should not become its own prison. It should be a tool for bold, decisive living. Thinking helps us understand the world, but only action allows us to master it. The challenge for the overthinker is not to find the perfect plan, but to take the first step, trusting that clarity and progress will come through movement, not hesitation. Breaking free, the power of imperfect action. To overcome this paralysis, highly intelligent individuals must reframe their approach, shifting from seeking perfection to embracing action. Accept that no decision is flawless. There will always be unknowns and alternative paths, but progress only happens when a choice is made and followed through. See action as a form of learning. Clarity and expertise are not prerequisites for starting. They are byproducts of experience. The sooner one begins, the sooner they gain real knowledge. Redefine failure as growth. Rather than fearing failure as a sign of inadequacy, view it as evidence of progress. Every misstep is a step forward in disguise. Commit to a path and trust in adaptability. Success is rarely about choosing the perfect option. It's about making a decision, learning along the way, and adjusting as needed. At its core, intelligence should empower action, not inhibit it. The ability to think critically is a powerful tool, but only when paired with the courage to act. The world is shaped by doers, not just thinkers. Instead of endlessly analyzing possibilities, the true challenge is to take the leap knowing that even an imperfect step forward is better than standing still.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.